everyone. Over the last few weeks, I've been really trying to organize myself and put some new videos out there. It's not easy, but it's also fun and challenging for me to do this. This special project is really great, so I hope these videos improve over time. In the next 3 videos, I want to go over the way I see basic relationships with people who come to my academia. And these people that pay for capoeira classes. In my opinion, over the last 20 years of teaching, I can basically classify relationships into 3 types. First is the client-service provider relationship. The second is the student-teacher relationship. And finally, the discípulo and Mestre relationship. For me, generally it comes down to dealing with these 3 types of relationships. This is especially important when I think about the long-term students that have stayed with me for over 10 years. In this first video, I will talk about the client-service provider relationship and some ideas on how I see it. In my opinion, these relationships are controlled by the client, student, discípulo. The service provider, teacher, Mestre, opens a class to get paid and realistically can't force the client, student, or discípulo to attend classes or forcibly pay for it. No matter what happens, at the end of the day, they have the power to actually just walk away. Some people might think this is difficult or impossible and fear retaliation from the capoeira community. But as time passes, with a professional and positive attitude, the positive people in the community will recognize and respect you for what you have done and for the choices that you've made. Here are a few ideas that are my own opinion on how I see the profession of professionally teaching capoeira. First and foremost, I have to remember that I am a service provider. My product is capoeira, and these are the clients paying for a service. The second, I receive any amount of money, even if it's just 1 cent, then I have made a business transaction. My ability to grow my client base is based on the quality of service perceived. Here is a good example from living in Japan. A lot of people teach English as a second language here. Regardless of what the quality is of the instructor or the quality of the school, students, most importantly, have to feel a perceived of I improved or I'm getting better, or they're going to go somewhere else, right? If people don't feel they have a feeling of getting better, then they know, because they're wondering if they got the value for what they paid. Then it's natural for them to go somewhere else with their time and their money. And why not? They're the client. So how do we deal with clients? I guess the first thing I always try to remember is that the client chooses to be with me. And my ability to keep them is always a 50-50 in trying to have them stay. Generally, I think 50% stop coming because of circumstances in their own lives. Things I have no control over or no influence. This can be an injury, health, job, family, and so on. The other 50% falls on me as a service provider. The service provider creates the environment. Remember, it's my academia, it's my group. I'm responsible for the product development and sale. My ability to grow over the years has been directly related to me understanding this key point. So how do I see myself? First, I see myself as a service provider. And as that, I am responsible to provide the service. I'm responsible. It's not up to the client to provide the service. I am here for them. They are paying me for what I do. Simple things to remember, but sometimes hard to maintain are, for example, being on time, being prepared, being welcoming, being professional. I know it sounds simple, but these are things that are basic to all professions. As service providers, we need to have a vision of what we want to provide in every class. Think about it this way. Imagine you own your own cafe, like me. If you don't open on time, if the coffee isn't ready, if the cafe isn't clean, if you don't conduct yourself in a professional manner, then people don't come back. And word gets around, so you lose new possible clients. People are paying for a service which you provide. You need to constantly ask yourself if you're providing the service people are paying for. I know some people might think I'm putting too much emphasis on the money, but why not? Money isn't bad. Getting money for capoeira teaching is only bad if you don't deliver on what was paid for. What's wrong with us as capoeira instructors getting paid for our value and for the dedication to the art? I love it. The client service provider relationship is one of 3 types of relationships. I've most commonly seen in capoeira are these relationships. This is just as important to understand and to value as the other 2 types. All people who come in are important. What business wouldn't want to have a lot of good clients? I am blessed to have so many great clients who come into my academia, and I value them just as much as a student or a discípulo. I never forget to appreciate them and always thank them. In the next video, I will talk about the student-teacher relationship. See you all soon. Mestre Sucuri. A lot of love, peace, and capoeira.